Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Good friends and trends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with super fast tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe. Let the happiness take you in.
Hey, everybody. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Check it out. Hey.
Pretty good.
You guys got your coffees ready? Your coffee breaker.
Yep.
Oh, we need that as a sound effect, you know, like Combo Breaker from Killer Instinct, but it says coffee breaker.
You know, I do have a program from when I was a DJ called Pro Tools, which back in the early 2000s, a lot of entertainers used to make that robotic voice.
Nice.
You know, that whole, yeah.
No, go ahead. That's pretty cool.
No, that's it. Yeah, I had that program, so we can do that. You know, we just got to get somebody who feels confident about saying that voice, doing a voice, and I'll edit it and the echo on it and do the whole combo breaker.
With some practice, I get pretty good at that kind of stuff. So we'll try something. Cane Shaker, hey, what's up? Good morning. Yeah, because like I back in the day I used to mimic that Mortal Kombat fight sound, you know.
Yeah. My favorite is, and I've always shouted it out when I was a karaoke DJ. Even when people had gotten a fight at the clubs, I would get on the mic and go, "Finish him!"
Dun dun dun. Ah!
And then I'd follow it up with the Bad Boys theme song because the security or the cops would come in.
That's funny. That is funny. You're like, finish him, bad boys. What you gonna do? This episode's been copyright striked already. No, I'm kidding.
I don't think they can copyright strike poor singing, and if they did, I would have been copyright struck a long time ago. Jesse would have admit to that.
That's funny. Well, some good news is tomorrow, Wednesday, we're gonna have an infamous Coogee dude on the episode of Morning Coffee.
Cool.
Yeah. And Madam Monk's asking a very important question to KJ. How are the acoustics in the jar?
The acoustics in the jar. I read that as autistics in the jar, and I'm like, how'd you know? But yes. It's a lot better than when I was in a bigger cylinder. For a while, it was just a head and a pipe, and it would echo.
Hey, look, you got a Twitch side Sonic Chew Scoob. Hello,
Sonic Tube.
Welcome to the show.
Had a lot of fun last night on the Minecraft with Scoob.
Yeah, my wife loves Scooby-Doo. She loves watching all the variants of the cartoons. My favorite variant is when they had the punk rock opening song. I love that song. It was, I think Bowling for Soup who did the version, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, Bowling for Soup. Yeah, it was Bowling for Soup. And that was a very good version of it. Although I'm a traditionalist, I like the 1976 Scooby-Doo Where Are You theme song.
Right. The one where the Beatles influenced the song. That's right. That was a good song. That was a good time.
Yeah. About Scooby-Doo, I just like the older cartoon. The characters look better than the
Right. When they
particular.
redid the show. Sorry, I got a piece of fur flying in my face. When they redid the show and later, like 2017's plus, and started giving characters different motives and different personalities and more of a woke agenda, it just kind of changed the temper of the show. Where it went
you
from,
mean like Velma,
Yep.
the best
Yeah.
show ever, Velma? Oh, I love that show. I hate it with a passion. Oh man,
right.
Oh,
Like
man.
they really tried changing the characters and stuff. And and I get it. Sometimes you gotta try something different to get the ratings in and stuff. But like there was there's a different series, not Velma, where Velma had a crush on Scooby Doo, and they were secretly not Scooby Doo on Shaggy, and they were kind of dating, but they didn't want Scooby to know. They made that a whole behind the scene kind of joke thing for the show, so because like Scooby didn't know for like a long time. And there was a jealousy factor going between attention. It was weird. But the show was fine. It was fine. Scooby Doo's been around for ages.
I was never a big fan of the newer stuff, although I did enjoy the new Scooby-Doo mysteries that came out a few years back. I think it was almost a decade ago, because they rebrought Scooby-Doo mysteries, and then they had it had the similar feel that the Scooby-Doo movies that they were doing in the early 2000s.
Right. Then on Twitch side, there's a wild Twitchlet. Yeah, go catch it.
Hey, hey, you know what? If you can pronounce any of these Pokemon names, Jessie will be proud of you because she can't even half the time.
Kenny Shaker says, "Oh man, now I want a Scooby snack or a Doobie snack. What are you talking about?"
Someone just chuck him a Scooby snack. Like the poor guy's sitting there. Come here. I want a snack. Come on, snack. Someone throw the poor boy a bone.
Yeah, man, crazy.
He went for walkies last night. We took him out. We took him out of the cave last night. He went for walkies. He's okay.
Went for walkies. All right, my friends, let's get rolling on the topic. But before we get to the topic, I actually did something today that Magic players will probably enjoy. I made a picture of the day.
Ooh.
And trust me, I worked hard on getting this correct because 4 fingers, 5 fingers. AI doesn't care how many fingers a hand has. When you find a use for a MTG card that is really bad and useless, and it's still complete poopy, but you still made it work. That's how excited you are. And to explain the picture, that's supposed to be manure in front of him, right?
It looks more like a compost.
Right. AI do AI things. But yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes we get the itch to take a poopy card and make it and try to make it good no matter how poopy it is.
Right.
You were about to say something?
Too bad that wasn't like I was just saying too bad that picture wasn't like Dr. Ellie Sattler sticking her hand in a big old pile of dinosaur dung.
Right. That's a good one too, by the way. That's a good reference. That's a large pile of crap. All right, but check it out. That picture is for the Magic players out there today. Woo! And see, eggs.
I like it.
But
notice his face. Who that looks like? It looks like Bruce Campbell.
It kind of does, doesn't it? Bruce Campbell is a cowboy.
It looks like Bruce Campbell. Yeah.
Nice. Manamug says the manure kind of looks like the coffee bean background.
Yep.
It's funny. All right. That is a picture of the day. Hope you enjoyed that. Hit that like button, everybody. If you haven't, hit that subscribe button. If you want to see a show every Monday through Friday and some random shows at night, come on, join the creep. And check everybody here out in the description below. Find their socials, find their where they stream, and hey, subscribe and follow all around. Woo woo. All right, but today Tortoise has dialogue. Yep,
Ooh.
Tortoise wrote dialogue, and he did a little research. Because what happened is I woke up a little early today. Like I wake up at 9 a.m. and today I woke up at 8 a.m. and I'm like, I don't know why I'm awake. But I'm like, with this, I can actually write dialogue and do research for the dialogue. So everything I'm about to say was researched today. All right. WOTC is staying afoot amid the economic downturn. The insanity is in this slump, in this fake recession we are in. And I say fake because there's a lot of people, a lot of reports talking about how stable the economy is at the moment with the changes we cannot occur right now. Meaning not occurring, meaning like there's a lot of adjustment with, tariffs and other things going in. But anyways, Hasbro stock is slowly growing and going up. It sits at $67 a stock right now from $66 2 days ago, and that's supposed to be $63 a month ago. Also, with sets like Final Fantasy breaking records in WOTC history, being the most sold set in MTG history in pre-sales alone, surpassing even Lord of the Rings, and that included the 1-of-1 serialized ring. The Universes Beyond sets seem to be selling faster than hotcakes. But don't let that fool you. Even the in-universe set Tarkir Dragonstorm has performed very well in sales, alongside Secret Lairs in 2025. 2025 has been a good year for Hasbro, possibly the best year in many. Now, is this just a flash in the pan, or will WOTC, Wizard of the Coast, and Hasbro continue this streak for the rest of 2025 and beyond? Let's get into it. Yeah.
Oh.
All right, boom. Sorry, I had to read because there's like some typos in there, and correct them as I was reading it. I'm one of those people who see those. I'm one of those people who see those like upside down, backwards text, and somehow I can read it. And they're like, you got like a useless special gift if you can read this backwards. I'm like, okay, well, I did it. Hey, KBG. Wait, the picture of the day is back. It comes and goes, my friend. It comes and goes. Whoop.
Yep.
I try to do it like people share pictures in Discord where the picture of the day is, and it's a nice, fun picture. I'll share it. Yeah. We like to spice things up, keep things going, flowing. Yeah, we try to do things. Look, if you really wanted to on an episode, I'd do a deck tech. If there was a deck to do a deck tech about, yeah, I'm willing to do anything that I find fun. But anyways, so with Hasbro doing so successful, which is crazy, and Hasbro being successful because of WOTC here, because I don't see how Hasbro is being so successful right now when I go to Walmart and Target and their toy shelves are pretty much bare. But when it comes to Magic product, oh my Lord, it's selling. It's selling product. It's selling singles. It's flourishing, which is nuts. I find nuts. Now, the product and shelf thing is all opinion based off my visuals, my optics of what I see. Hasbro's stock is floating pretty decent. If they were doing better, it'd be more than $67. But $67 a stock is pretty decent, from what I understand. In fact, while I was uploading it at $67 right now, because I don't know how the stock system fully works, it went up $1 probably for a couple minutes, but we'll see.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Hasbro is one of the top 3 toy companies in the entire world.
That's true.
This is one of the reasons why I keep on saying when people a lot of the fans out there want to insist back and forth, and they've since I've started here, you've heard me complain about people saying, oh, Hasbro's going out of business, and I say, well, cite your sources that you say Hasbro's going out of business. I've been very let's just say I've been rude about it, because a lot of people like to claim that the one of the number one toy companies, top 3 toy companies in the entire world, people want to claim is going out of business, partly because they don't like the policies of the mother company.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I saw that. Hillbilly Guy's breakfast. Woo woo. Ooh. Ah. Monomonk says, put him in a tutu, hand him an umbrella, and put him on a tightrope, and he'll do it. That's right. Sure. I don't know if I could even have the balance for a tightrope. I mean, if the tightrope was on the ground, like safely on the ground, I'll try it. There you go. No. Hillbilly, close the screen so you can eat.
Yep.
Don't you know your breakfast time is before the show?
Usually it is.
That's funny. That's funny. But yeah. So, for some of the stuff I was reading, like Hasbro's, not only has Hasbro stock price gone up, Hasbro's made 17% more money than normal thus far, from what I understand, from what I read and understand. 17%.
Wow,
that's an increase.
Yeah,
it may seem small, but that's actually pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? And
hey, you know, any increase. Any increase when you're dealing with a company that big is still an increase. And, you know, that's a big thing to remember is like when you are dealing with a major corporation such as Hasbro, Mattel, or any of these, like they make so much money on a yearly basis that it gets to be hard to tell where their increases are. And I believe that it is a very common fact that that you can't see those increases. It's virtually impossible to see those increases.
Right. K-Shaker wanted to comment. Hillbilly's probably having third breakfast before he has second lunch. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Dang blankety. Somebody figured it out.
Well, everybody knows.
By the way,
Hillbilly's
great
on
Lord of the
today.
Rings reference.
Right. Right. That was a good one. What we had first breakfast. Yes. What about seconds? Second breakfast. Yeah. Then now we need potatoes. Sorry. Anyways, like I even mentioned, the Lord of the Rings set sold very well for Hasbro, but it hasn't sold as much as Final Fantasy. Now, I think that's because Lord of the Ring has more of an adult audience than they do a kid audience, and I think Final Fantasy has an audience for both younger kids and adults together. So it's like vastly more huge. And holy cow, because like Final Fantasy has been out since was it the 80s or maybe the 90s? It came out like the early 90s, and it's been banging. Like
I think it's just about the same age as Magic. If not, it's awful close.
Look, it's about 40 years old, the franchise.
It came out on the first Final Fantasy game came out on the 8-bit Nintendo in the 1980s. So I believe it was probably, from what I understand, it was probably some of the second generation Nintendo releases from that first run of the 8-bit, because I had it, and I think it had to be like the Nintendo version had to be like, I don't know what, 1986. You know, somebody can look it up in chat. Chat's real good at Googling.
All right. Look, just like that, Hillbilly already finished a full plate of food.
Yep. Y'all did.
Right. Oh my lord! I typed in when the Final Fantasy came out, and it autocorrected to Final Destination.
Oh, much better, much better. We can have a collab between Final Fantasy and Final Destination. I'd be happy with that.
Don't worry, I said hi to Scoob earlier, except it auto-corrected it to Scoop.
Mhm. So Final Fantasy came out in 1987. Yeah, and there you go. Cane Shaker.
Oh, I was very close. I said 1985. Woo.
Right. And holy cow, 1987. That's just a few years younger than me. Just a few. So it's almost 40 years old. And look, just like the Days of Our Lives, Final Fantasy is the longest running video game soap opera out there. No matter the cast, they keep renewing the stories and people keep enjoying them. And trust me, I played some. Like I played some of the original ones. There's, they'd have the sappy, sultry scenes where things are emotional, over emotional, some whatnot, and where some things are just lighthearted. My favorite Final Fantasy franchise game is not really Final Fantasy, but includes Final Fantasy, was Kingdom Hearts. Because as Disney Final Fantasy mixed. Fun.
Well, Kingdom Hearts was a complete reskin of Final Fantasy. The original Kingdom Hearts game has all the same maps, just reskinned.
Right.
And the characters also have the same abilities, just the reskin characters to Disney characters.
Captain Waffles, the year I was born. Captain Waffles! Viva! Viva Waffles! That's right. Hello. It's been a long time. No smell on this channel. Welcome back. All right. KBG, I never played a single Final Fantasy and didn't know any characters from it until this MTG set. Well, that's you and many other people who never played the game. Like you're not alone. Like, I don't know a lot of the people in the game. In fact, I couldn't tell you people in the game. I played the game a long time ago, but I forget. The only name I remember is Sephiroth, to be honest. And that's because of Kingdom Hearts. He was a badass. Franchise.
I've played Kingdom Hearts before, but I've never played Final Fantasy. But Kingdom Hearts was a great game.
Yeah, it was a fun game for its time. I played it again a few, 10 years later, or 10, 12 years later, and it doesn't hold up to today's video games anymore, but it was still a fun game. Yeah.
See, the one thing about Final Fantasy is even with the newer versions of the game, even though they kind of like more modernized it and gave it like kind of like this very much a modern feel to how the game is, and from everything, including like the idea of the characters being pop culture icons and whatnot. They even gave backstory to some of the characters. Like one of the characters is kind of like a celebrity in his own right, and like internet celebrity type of thing. You have pictures of you have some of the like promotional photos of the characters doing like selfie shots with each other, like in the old animes.
Right. Captain Waffle says Final Fantasy X was the best. Fight me. So if I say Final Fantasy VII is one of the best game out there, are you going to slap yourself so you feel the hit? I don't know what's going on here. Final Fantasy VII to me was one of the funnest games. Final Fantasy 12 was fun too. Oh, not 12. Whatever the PlayStation version, a 2-disc special edition was. But so Final Fantasy being the biggest set of all time right now, like it broke records how many sold, like it broke records for the most sold set in Magic's history in the pre-order days time, right? And we're still kind of in the pre-order time because it's coming out in Arena today. Once pre-release happens, when you'll actually be able to buy physical product in the store. Like certain products like Commander decks, I think you can buy booster boxes, but I could be wrong. You can buy certain product in the store starting pre-release.
Yep.
So woo. Captain Waffles says Final Fantasy VII was good, but Final Fantasy X was better. Well, joke's on you. I never played Final Fantasy X. But I believe you that Final Fantasy X was good because that's when they redid the fighting mechanics.
I got out of gaming and I did when at a certain point in my life, and then I started. I'm back into it right now, but I played Final Fantasy up until the Super Nintendo, and then I'm like, you know what? It was too big at that point in time. You know, Final Fantasy blew up when it first came out on the regular Nintendo, the 8-bit system.
Right.
But I played it until it was on the Super Nintendo, and I enjoyed it, but it just like became too much. They moved it from there. It was going to go on to the N64, but instead they brought it over to PlayStation, and PlayStation made Final Fantasy a cult classic. While a lot of people did play it on the Nintendo, I think a lot more people appreciate Final Fantasy now since it hit the PlayStation market than to the PC market.
Mm-hmm. Captain Waffle says it's sad that Hasbro had to bring in an outside IP to sell Magic the Gathering. Shows how much they have discarded and neglected their own IP. Well, Tarkir did well. They did well. It sold well. They made a profit, but they're not making profit like this new IP. Right. So I think they're going where the money is, and they're following that trail.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they definitely pushed Lorwyn ahead or forward. No, wait.
Back.
My brain's thinking backwards. They pushed it back, so it's coming out later for another IP, and which is ridiculous. But like, look, Final Fantasy, I'm not even excited for Final Fantasy myself. I'm not on the train of Final Fantasy, the card game, right? There's some cards in it I might be interested in, like some of the crystals, and maybe there's other cards I don't remember at the moment that I might want. Those are just singles. Me, I'm waiting for Edge of Eternities to come out. Possibly Spider-Man, but Edge of Eternities, I'm definitely excited to see come out, because I'm hoping they touch on the Eldrazi's, right? Mm-hmm. My hopes are up. They might be false, but the Eldrazi's live in the Eternities as a real form. That's what I want to see. And KBG says, keep in mind I am an Xbox junkie, so playing PlayStation IPs like Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy is a no-go. Hey.
Yeah, I get a lot of people who say the same thing. You know, in the gaming circle there, for particularly video games as well. I'm sitting on Twitch. We were talking about Final Fantasy hitting Magic and a few of the other IPs that are coming out that way. And somebody struck up in chat the other night that that Final Fantasy was their go-to game, but it's not anymore because of all their collaborations that they've been doing. A lot of even on that side of the market, but it's still like Final Fantasy is a big cult classic where people are not going to give up on it. Just like Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering has a huge following that no matter how much the followers dislike what's being put out there on the market, they're still going to buy it. And I think that's going to be one of the big reasons why like Magic is going to do well with these collabs, is because people are still going to buy them. You might the fans aren't going to like it, but really the fan services only goes so far.
Right. And you're right, the fan service is only go far, but I'm waiting for the day that, you know, when they do this, they can do it now because McDonald's has proved they can do it. Is making adult Happy Meals with Magic cards in them. That's going to happen one day. Watch.
Well, they did the Pokemon several times.
That was Burger King, but yeah. Well, maybe.
No, it's McDonald's.
We had the adult Minecraft Happy Meals recently.
Yeah,
but McDonald's do have the Pokemon cards.
Right, but like they could do Magic too, like, you know, get the adult, you know, because like, you know, when they did the adult Happy Meals and they had like those cool little figurines, which I so wanted one just to have, but we couldn't afford it at the time. Like can you imagine they make a promo? Maybe this will happen when the movie comes out, right? If they never make a movie, and they're like, at McDonald's or Burger King, get this special Magic edition card. It's a card that exists in the world, but you can get the special variant with the king on it or Ronald McDonald on it. That'd be cool. And Captain Waffle says Tarkir did well, but it wasn't anything new. Just reused a plane with a touch up on the story, and it also brought in some more relevant dragons because the other ones were folding out. But I get what you're saying. It was a good, well done plane though. Returning to Magic plane has been a part of the game for many years. That's right. Like going to Ravnica, returning to Ravnica. Clearly, I'm not like the MTG players because I left the game and feel so much happier. Hey, if that's how you feel, KBG, We're just happy you show up to hear our conversations.
Right.
Sub and like the video. That's right. Lulu's right. Sub and like the video. Sub and like the video. I appreciate
Now,
it.
there's a comment we can get behind.
The stories aren't touched up. They are simply revisited to show the progression of a plane. That's right. You're going to give life to a plane. I mean, look how Gavin Verhey talks about a plane. He's selling to you like he's going to make $1 million.
Well, here's the question: how did they come up with the name Final Fantasy for the game?
Someone was giving up on hope, and they thought it was going to be the final thing they wrote. And then it became popular, and they wanted more in the franchise.
Possible.
Correct. It is. Square Enix has come out and admitted that Final Fantasy, those are like on the brink of bankrupt, and Final Fantasy was the last game they was going to make because it was flopping on their games, and they said, well, this is going to be the final game that we make. And it's a fantasy. Our fantasy is to make it big.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's how they came up with the name Final. And the fantasy was, them thinking that it was going to save them, and it did. I mean, it blew up.
Hell yeah, that's a good story. It's a good story. Now, in the idea of thinking of the future of Magic the Gathering, they're going to continue to do what they do, right? They're going to follow this trend. They're going to go to the well until it stops giving them what they want. What are things you want to see in the future with this Magic thing? Like you might see more in the universe sets when it becomes popular again, but you might see a McDonald's or Burger King, hell, even maybe a Wendy's release.
What I'm looking for in that is I'm looking forward to the up and coming Secret Lair collab between Guy Fieri and Magic the Gathering.
You know what
we're going to have a land card called Flavortown.
Nice. That'd be awesome. Flavortown. You pay 2 mana, tap it, and create a food token. That'd be awesome.
Yep.
So, you know what I want to see? And I was thinking about this yesterday. I when you can find Pokemon shirts and stuff on Walmart. You can I found my Pokemon hat at Walmart. I want to see Magic the Gathering attire at Walmart, hats, some shirts and stuff like that. I want to start seeing Magic in the mainstream of selling businesses instead of having to go to specialized websites or customizable websites. I want to be able to see like Jace Bellerin on a freaking t-shirt, yo.
I have seen some Magic the Gathering shirts at my local Walmart.
What?
Yes.
Have you bought any?
Nope.
Why not?
Didn't have the money at the time.
Well, if that's the case, we might get it here. And if they do, my wife's probably going to frown upon the brokenness I'll put on the house. No, I'm kidding. Let's see. Kevin G says Gears of War collab inbound. Probably. Like if it's big, because they're coming out with the movie for Gears of War. Or not a movie, a new game. That looks pretty good.
Cool.
And look, a little late, but we got
Lone Wolf.
That's right. That's right. Check it out. Check it out. We got Lone Wolf. Hey. So yeah, like I'm excited for some of the collaborations that they possibly will do. I love the Transformers IP, but I think they did that weird. I love the Jurassic Park IP 100% or 99%, but I didn't like the Me and Malcolm Secret Lair they did. Yep. Everything's going to be hit and miss, but like Backwoods Collector says, he hates the idea of Universes Beyond, but if they did a set about an IP he loved, he'd completely be all for it. Says he doesn't like Universes Beyond, but if they did a set for a set he loved, for an IP he loved, he'd probably be all for it. He'd be hypocritical. He'd turn around and be like, I want that set. And I think that's how most people are, but people just want to act cool or strong or tough. Well, I don't know what the correct term is, and be like, I hate this or whatnot, and they just stick to their guns. But you're
always going to have naysayers. You're always going to have a naysayer, no matter what it is.
I remember the first time we had will be the first time we had a Secret Lair come out with an IP that was unique was Walking Dead, and I was actually excited for it before the community tried turning me around on it. Right, I was excited for it, not because The Walking Dead's my thing, but my thought process. Well, if we get Walking Dead, maybe we'll get Transformers in the future. You know, that was my thing. And yes, we got Transformers, but now I want Beast Wars. You know, because Beast Wars was my jam, yo. Beast Wars.
One thing I wish they would do, if they go back to Transformers, actually make the cards and make them standard legal. Because, you know, they're putting everything in standard. That's great. That's awesome. And they can do that with Transformers. I would love to go back to Transformers and have more Transformers cards, include the Beast Wars, include all the Transformers.
Mm-hmm. Notice Captain Waffle says, I just realized Hillbilly looks like he's 30 years old.
Well, thank you, young man.
Thank you. That's right. We got KJ in the house and Hellwiller. We got Hillbilly. What's up?
What's up?
What's
So,
up?
not exactly on the side of Magic the Gathering and the side of the topic that you're talking about, but yesterday we had mentioned that particularly we had very little faith in what Marvel is going to be doing.
Well, it wasn't about very little faith. That's
what I said. I'm quoting me. I'm quoting me.
Because there's a lack of clarity at the moment, but I get what you're saying.
I'm quoting me. And I found out some news yesterday. Apparently they're recasting Deadpool, and they have in mind to recast Deadpool with Doogie Howser, the actor who plays Doogie Howser, Neil Patrick Harris. They want to replace him with Neil Patrick Harris because of all the drama that's been going on, and they were going to recast him anyway, I think. And going Neil Patrick Harris is absolutely hitting a certain point where you're going into giving into certain values that they want family values rather than what Deadpool puts out. Right. And I think that's going to ruin the series. And I think it's going to be part of the continuing ruining of Marvel, which does not have me feeling good about what they're going to be doing with Spider-Man set. Wondering how I was getting to that. That's how I was getting to that.
Right. I get it. Well, the change might be Disney-fied, if I could say it, changing from Deadpool from the Fox universe, even though he's Disney right now, and changing it to Neil Patrick Harris. Well, I think he's a funny guy in his own right. He wrote the book, The Bro Code.
Yeah, but he doesn't hit the same feel as what you want Deadpool to feel like. And when I see that they do these kind of things for geopolitical commentary to change up a character, I see that it also hurts the rest of the franchises and every franchise that collaborate with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll have to see how it goes, but I understand what you're saying. Because like I definitely think they're going to Disney-fy it, which I know I want it retrospective. If they made a Deadpool that like a Deadpool movie that didn't have stuff in it for me to worry about, then I'd probably enjoy it more. Where I can't watch Deadpool 1 or 2 because there's certain things in that movie.
Right.
You know, so like don't get me wrong, I'm not dissing likes those movies, you know, because they made money where they did belong. Deadpool versus Wolverine was a really fun movie to watch. It was confusing, weird, but it was a fun movie to watch.
Yep.
It was also highly comic book accurate, though.
Right. Oh, dude.
It was highly comic book accurate.
When he went traveling to find the Wolverine he wanted, that was a really cool montage. And I found out he's the one who told the company to put that in the movie like that, which was crazy. Ryan Reynolds, isn't it?
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. Yeah.
But Neil Patrick Harris is responsible for killing millions of creatures, bugs from another planet. Oh my lord.
He is a great movie, by the way. That probably one of my favorite lesser appreciated Neil Patrick Harris movies.
That's funny. Thoughts on Black Panther going to Ryan Gosling? Have no clue why they're doing that.
I once again, they're making geopolitical decisions in order to familyize, and also the reason why they're sending the Black Panther in that direction is because they want to be able to sell in China.
Oh,
China.
Ah. And we got Backwoods Collector. Speak of the devil, like we spoke of you before. You show up. What's up?
What's up, Backwoods?
And just let you know, what Disney does, what Marvel wants to do are two different things. And we know this for a fact because Marvel wants to do what's best for the comics, and Disney wants to do the best for the wallet and the families.
Oh yeah. See, the thing is also like with these changes though, where I was trying to get at is this going to affect like collaborations as well? It's going to affect what they do with companies like Wizards of the Coast. It's going to affect what they do with other IPs that a lot of people like. And as long as they're going to be doing collaborations like with Wizards of the Coast, or they're going to do collaborations with any other toy manufacturing company, it is going to affect that in a way that a lot of people are probably not going to be prepared for.
Oh yeah. And look, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I agree with their decisions. Like the Deadpool thing, I want to see how it goes.
Yep.
Before I make a decision, because as it stands right now, Deadpool's hard to watch for me, so I want to see Deadpool do Deadpool things Disney-fied. But I'm not 100% on board with the decision, but I want to see how it goes. But with a lot of the recasting and how they're casting for other characters in general, or all characters in general, that includes Deadpool, it's confusing. Why do it? I mean, how would people like it if Magic the Gathering took your favorite character in Magic the Gathering? We're not including Lord of the Rings here because you know what I'm talking about, people. But if they took Jace and just completely recast him with a different person, different ethnicity, people would be confused. Like, they're like, you can do that now? Like, can you do that? Like, how do people react? Well, I mean, it's just strange. You know?
Well, they have done that also already with Teferi.
No, Teferi hasn't been recasted. There's a lot of cards from back in the day that show him as a kid, like Confiscate. You didn't expect me to pull that one out of my wallet. But anyways, yeah.
But no, I thought I'd bring that up because it's very much towards the topic from yesterday, and also kind of touches on the topic from today.
Oh no, it's good. It's good for sure. Backwoods Collector says probably wasn't good. Speaking of, right now, we were talking about what you said about Secret Lair IP crossovers. You're like, you don't really care for IPs, but if they ever made an IP, went with an IP that you loved, you'd be like, I'm totally for it compared to the other ones. Mm-hmm. That was a quick bit. Marvel has been going downhill since Infinity Saga ended. Red Hawk Captain America was horrible. I actually enjoyed that movie, so I don't know what we're talking about.
I was going to say I agree with.
I've not touched it since the Infinity Wars. But go ahead, Hillbilly. Let you get a chance out.
I enjoyed the movie. I liked Red Hawk and Captain America. I was wondering how Red Hawk was going to be introduced into the Marvel, and I'm happy with the way it was introduced.
Yeah, don't be wrong.
Shocked that it was Ross, but
no, well, it's Ross in the comic books.
Yeah, I was about to say that was
with the exception of how they introduced it. First of all, if anybody reads the comic books, Ross never becomes president. You know who becomes president? Norman Osborn.
That's true. That's true. I was like, my brain was stumped. I'm like, I know this, but I couldn't think about it. But yeah, Norman Osborn became president. That was after the X-Men's president was president.
Yes. So Norman Osborn became president during the end of Secret Wars 2, not the original Secret Wars 2, but the redo of Secret Wars 2, and that created a thing where Norman Osborn commandeered the Iron Man suit and created a new version of Iron Patriot, and he gave the suit to his son, who was just as crazy as him, and turned into the Iron Goblin. Great storyline, by the way.
Good storyline for sure. Kane Checker says, I just want to know how the hell they thought Han Solo would be a good Hulk. Well, first of all, wrong series. Han Solo, it's Indiana Jones. Imagine all the artifacts he's dug up. He's got radiation all over him. I'm kidding.
No, that's a funny joke.
Yeah, the reason why they recast him is because the original actor who played Ross passed away.
Yeah,
and I think Harrison Ford was like a major acting chops move. Like they picked someone who had a good acting chops.
It was a good choice. I approved of Harrison Ford playing Ross. While there is a little bit of uncanny valley with having a recasting, and it is one recasting that I actually kind of liked.
Well, it's no different. It's kind of different because Ross has been through different movies in the show.
Right. That's why it's uncanny.
Right. It's no difference when they got rid of the guy who played Brody. Well, not Brody.
You're thinking of Tony Stark's best friend, and who eventually became War Machine. I'm going to give you a second to remember his name.
I can't think of his name at the moment. It's bugging me.
Rhodes. Yes,
Rhodey. That's why Brody came to mind.
Brody is from a series of movies that revolve around comic books made by Kevin Smith, and that would be the Clerks series.
Right.
Actually, particularly Mallrats.
Mallrats, classic.
And Brody was one of the people who ran the comic book shop. He ran the comic book shop in Mallrats and also in Chasing Amy.
Kevin Smith has his own universe, and he was the first person to really have his interconnected universe throughout his movies put together. I mean, I still remember today. I know it's a little off topic, but I remember today, and like I remind people that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck got famous because of those movies and stuff. They got famous together. They grew together, and that's how their friendship kept going. And I think some people forget about it. I'm like, you remember this? They came from Kevin Smith's series. They got popular off the series because, like, I think the best movie they did with him. I'm not gonna categorize that his movies are always bad or anything.
Good Will Hunting 2.
Good Will Hunting.
The rehunting.
Right.
If you remember the Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Right, but the movie I think they did the best in was Stigmata, or was it? Was it Stigmata? Or
no, it wasn't Stigmata. No, it was
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It was based
you're thinking of Dogma, which Dogma just came. They're just finally re-releasing it. Kevin Smith got the rights. Finally got the rights to Dogma, and he's re-releasing it. And he is currently writing a sequel to Dogma. And Alanis Morissette has confirmed that if he does release a sequel, that she will return as God. It is great. Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, Dogma was a really good, like the best movie with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. They had really good dialogue as the Angels. But Kane Checker says, I just want to know who the hell thought Han Solo would be a good Hulk. No, we already read that one. But
it's good, worth the read again.
Yeah. Yep. But Indiana Jones couldn't even beat Milner in a drag race. Dogma was the best. Yeah. Walker, Texas Ranger. Where did Walker, Texas Ranger come from?
Brody, not Brody. Actor we're talking about. I believe he played in Walker, Texas Ranger.
No, different actor.
No.
Was it?
Yeah,
I think maybe that might have been his name in Walker, Texas Ranger. I haven't watched Walker, Texas Ranger in decades. I heard, well, not decades, but years. But they did that remake of Walker, Texas Ranger, starring the guy from Supernatural. Yeah, it was horrible.
Right. It was first Terrence Howard who played Rhodes, then it turned
Terrence
into
Howard.
Don Cheadle.
And he went crazy.
Yeah, I remember the story. It was sad because he did a good Rhodes. I was hoping to see his character build, but Don Cheadle just killed it. Like came in, owned it, boom.
I love Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle did a good version of Rhodes, and I would like to see more of him. Like the whole thing about about Baby H, and he's like, "Can't we just with Thanos?"
Yeah. The whole yeah.
Yeah. That was funny. Like, he had some funny times and stuff. And I want to see more with Rhodes, especially with because he'll be a main character in the
New Avengers.
No, not the Avengers. KJ knows this series because it's coming out. It's the Armor Wars.
Yeah, Armor Wars. And it is going to be it is a show that they're going to do to place in the Iron Lass instead of Iron Lad. The girl who they introduced in the second
Ironheart.
Yeah, Ironheart. Sorry, because originally it was Iron Lad. It was a boy character, but they resexed the character for the Wakanda series. Black Panther 2. Sorry, my brain's not clicking over today.
Very good. Well, like I don't mind that they changed the gender of Iron Lad to Iron Lass, whatever. I just wish when they introduced her, they gave her more of a backstory other than just like shoehorned her in. Like, this is a character. I hate it when they do that. Why were the old Infinity Saga movies good? Because they introduced the character, explained how they got the powers, explained what their motives. They broke down the character so you had something to connect to. And when they made the movie where they introduced Ironheart, which was Black Panther 2, they just shoehorned some characters in, and they're like,
yeah,
this is what it is now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and don't delete me off the internet, but that, like, I think they overdid it with the whole ceremony in the beginning of the movie. They could have watered it down a little because
it was watered down. It was probably one of the Black Panther 2 was probably, in my opinion, one of the most watered down films that they've released so far. When it comes down to what they were doing, they watered it down. Instead of recasting Chikala,
they should have,
which they should have, because I'll be honest with you, they're leaving out a whole bunch of storylines that are very important to the Marvelverse, and they're doing it to make a political commentary that children don't need to know, that adults don't care about. When you're going to a movie for the purpose of escaping reality, it's going to a movie supposed to be escapism. And I'm not trying to make a political statement here, but when you have somebody else's politics involved, then you're not dealing with escapism anymore. You're dealing with the fact that, okay, we're going to change lore, we're going to add characters, and it's a problem that even the Magic the Gathering community has been complaining about lately, with adding characters that aren't part of their lore.
Right.
It is a big issue of geopolitical commentary, and it doesn't belong in your escapism.
Captain Wolf says the Red Hawk Captain America was a filler movie to introduce adamantium for the X-Men. I think it was a little more than that.
It was,
Wakanda had not adamantium, but the vibranium, and they wanted to shift the focus where they can get their metal, so they don't have to keep going to Wakanda.
Well, see, the whole purpose of the vibranium. The vibranium wasn't introduced into the comic books until after they started taking over the movies, because they didn't have the rights to adamantium, because adamantium is a part of the X-Men storyline that Fox had leased out for their time frame. Now that Disney owns Fox, they can merge it back in. But I think that they did it very well with introducing adamantium in that case scenario. Although I feel like if they would have just found a way to easily tie in, minus the overdone multiverse, they might have been able to figure out some way to do it. And the adamantium subject is it could have just been this, like, it's been there the entire time. But no, now we have to go, okay, well, we left out the Eternals, we did this thing, and nobody's talked about the mound, the island of the Celestial. And first of all, one thing I hated about the new Captain America movie is they called it Celestial Island. Only person who knew it was a celestial was the Eternals, and their whole thing is to not be known by humans.
Right.
So what? Now the humans know about the Eternals. You know,
Eternals was a bad movie anyway.
it was a
like,
horrible movie, but you know, but they're screwing up their own lore that they created in order to make new lore for what they did. And so it's like, okay, well, we did this to make lore that works, but we're just going to ignore what we wrote to make the lore work and then make new lore. It just does not work.
yeah, and you know what's some good new lore though?
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. Show is lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we gain. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
Gotcha. It is time to get to the shill section, my friends.
Wow.
What a fun-filled conversation of everything and nothing.
Yup.
But no, there's a lot of substance in there, a lot of good targets. Because even though we shifted to Marvel, but like it gives you more deeper insight why Hasbro's going, not Hasbro, well, Hasbro and WOTC are going with the Marvel card sets, because there's gonna be multiple Marvel sets coming out. There's a whole lot of lore that they're going to go through, and it's going to give you an idea of what they're going to see and what's going to happen, right? Like if they do Deadpool, are we going to have a Ryan Reynolds, or are we going to have a
Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris? Yeah, thank you.
I really hope they don't do that Neil Patrick Harris thing, even that they've been teasing, because you know, it just I just really hope that they don't do it. It's a different type of thing. He doesn't, the kind of comedy is not what was written for in the comic books. And I prefer like if you want to make a new character, make a new character. Don't go about and give us what you want to sell because you want to sell it.
Right. Well, just like Magic the Gathering, if it sells, it sells. And if you like it or not, if it's popular, they're going to continue to do it if it works.
Well, I've said it before as well, like just like to add to what you said, as I've said before, they're going to sell it because you're going to buy it.
You know, that's how it works, right? Like, look, we know these companies spend billions of dollars to understand us, the consumer, and our habits. So, and don't be wrong.
Then they throw it out the window.
Like, yeah. Like, one time we had a conversation about Knorr, KNORR.
The pasta,
the rices and stuff, soups and stuff they do on the phone, and our TV was listening. Now for the past 3 weeks, we had Knorr advertisements on our TV. Like Roku scrolls by and you'll see a sign, try a Knorr burrito. You buy this stuff, you make a burrito out of it. Try Knorr this. They're listening.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
selling. You know. But anyways, thinking about selling, it's time to shill ourselves out to the world, and we're going to start with the crazy cat lady who lobs off heads in Minecraft. We got Hellwiller.
Oh, I'm glad you added that little bit at the end there and didn't just end it with lobs off heads. In Minecraft, on our server, only our server, because, you know, it's initiation. Come on.
People got mad when she was doing it in real life.
Right.
Hey. But tonight, it's Simulation Tuesday. So one of the wonderful simulation games that I have will be up for play. Keep an eye out on the Discord in case I am stuck between a couple to choose from, in which case there may be a short poll. They only go up for a few hours. I'm trying to work out which game, but that doesn't often end up, unfortunately. I mean, there is any game that you want me to play more of on the Simulation Tuesday, let me know. Help me decide which game to play. I much appreciate it. Easier, one less thing for my brain to do. But that will be tonight at 7, so keep an eye out for that. And don't forget, every Friday is my Question Chaos show where I talk about local TCG.
Let's go. That sounds awesome. So if you haven't, check out a link in the chat. Go subscribe to her channel. Follow her. Have an amazing time. Wow. We ridicule and make fun of this guy because he lost his body. Who loses a body? But he has a head in a jar now. KJ.
I know exactly where my body is. My body is in Boca Raton enjoying a good retirement. It just didn't invite me.
Right. Right.
Uh,
You know what they say, a few bad apples spoil a bunch.
Yep.
so I am going to not shill much, except for I'm going to beg instead at this moment. My birthday is July 2nd, and we only had 3 people that I am aware of that have confirmed whether with a video or a I will be there on your show for Procrastinating Across the Oceans Wednesday, July 2nd. To do the roast on me, KJ Cowboy Dan, and I would like some of the creators to join us for that live and roast me. Like I said, only 3 people have confirmed that they wanted to go. I've been asking about this for a minute. And if you guys want to take part, I would greatly appreciate it. It would help me out a lot because I don't have anybody around on my birthday. Guilt trip. And
Nobody wants to see a polite British roast.
yeah, and nobody wants to see a polite British roast. Exactly. We'd rather have the Canadians be polite.
Come on, put some fire on this roast.
Yeah. So if you guys have the time, please, either send Jesse a video of you, a 2 to 3 minute video maybe of you roasting me, so that way I can respond, react to it on the show. That'd be great.
Hey, if you've got no actual words, just do a little animation of KJ's little jar on a pit over.
And I know a lot of you guys heard me say things that are off the bat, off collar here on this show. So there's a few things you have fire to roast me with. So please join me for my birthday. I would really appreciate a few people there. And a few roasters.
Thinking of roasted nuts and people on the crazy side, we got Hillbilly.
Hey, right Tuesday. Final Fantasy is releasing on Arena today. May already be released, but I haven't been on. It's been about 2 hours since I've been on Arena. But anyway, this afternoon, it is Community Afternoon, where you, as a viewer, can come and challenge Ray to a game of Standard on Arena with the new Final Fantasy cards. And also tonight, around 7 o'clock, we're going to have a Commander game on my channel. And all that is happening today. If you are interested in joining in on the Commander, all you have to do is let me or Superfast Tortoise know in the Discord. And the sooner you let us know, the safer a seat is available for you to play the game. So if you're interested in playing some Commander, let me or Superfast Tortoise know. And that's all I have to show for today. It's going to be a busy, busy day. But I don't care.
All right. Sounds good. And hey, everybody, welcome to the Super Fast Tortoise Show with the Flow. Everybody know we got to go because it's the time when we chill and we deal with all the things we got to go because we're totally ill. That's right. We're all awesome and relevant. And today I'm young again. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, tonight I should be streaming something, but I got to do a big chore that I promised I'd do. So I'm going to do that before I stream. So if I stream later, I'm sorry. If I stream earlier, I don't know. But whenever I stream, make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell for notifications. So when I go live, you get notified when I go live, right? That's how it works. Hit that like button. Follow everybody in the socials. And with that, I want to thank everybody for being here today. Everybody, Hillbilly, KJ Cowboy Dan, thank you. Everybody in chat, you rock, you roll. Kane Shaker. Yeah. That's right. Captain Waffles. Ooh. Lone Wolf, everybody showed up, even Manamonk. What's up? Thank you for hanging out. Everybody in chat, I want to remind you are loved. Someone's thinking about you, and if you can, say something positive to somebody. You might be the change they need today. And with that, my friends, we're going to get to that sweet, sweet outro. And keep in mind, I appreciate my members and subscribers, and boom.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning.